Have you ever felt a pull towards something you can't explain? Not a person, not a goal, but something bigger. Something that feels like it's calling your name from the edge beyond reality. Most people think that that feeling is loneliness or restlessness or some kind of existential crisis. But what if it's none of those things? What if that ache in your chest is actually your soul recognizing the truth? That you're connected to something far greater than the life you've been told to live. Presence we reach for in the dark, like there's meaning just beyond our fingertips. If you've ever felt like you were meant for something, or that life is bigger than the boxes people try to put you in, this episode is for you. Welcome back to Monti's Mysteries, where we peel back the layers of the human experience and wander straight into the unknown. Tonight we're not talking about UFOs or ancient structures or timelines. We're talking about something older than all of that. Something every human has felt, even if they've never said it out loud. That quiet pull in your chest, that ache you can't explain. That strange knowing that there's something more than the life you were handed. Some people call it faith, some people call it intuition, some people call it purpose. But if you strip away the dogma, the rules, and the expectations, what's left is the same thing across every culture, religion, and era of humanity. A yearning to belong, to mean something, to be a part of something greater than themselves. In this episode, we're diving into that yearning, where it comes from, why it shapes us, and how it might be the thread that ties all of humanity together. From ancient gods to modern spirituality to the deepest corners of the soul. So take a breath, settle in, because this isn't just a mystery about the universe. It's a mystery about us, about you, about the quiet truth humming beneath everything we are. This is the human yearning. Humans naturally gravitate towards connection, towards being a part of something greater. Most people, if not all, have a yearning for something they can't quite put into words. Something that might look like religion or philosophy or philanthropy, or just caring for the people that they love. People feel like there's something greater out there, something calling their name, something reaching out to them. It's like being in a dark room, reaching your hand in the air. You can't see what's there, but the air feels charged, almost static, like something waiting for you to notice. You can't quite name it. You can't quite see it, but you can feel it deep in your soul. This podcast isn't about dogma. It's about that feeling, that yearning that we all have. And if you're still listening, I'm sure you feel that too. I grew up Mormon in the heart of Mormonism, and I never felt that religion resonated with me. There were too many rules, too many conditions on love and acceptance. If this God loves everybody, shouldn't he just love everybody, point blank? Of course, we should be good people, be loving and kind, but humans are complicated. People have trauma. They grow up in homes that don't teach them how to love others or even to love themselves. And sometimes not even feeling loved. And being told that this wonderful cosmic God loves you, that you were meant to be here, that he has a plan, it can make you feel seen. It can make you think, maybe I am supposed to be here. Maybe everything I've been through, everything that shaped me actually has meaning. And in a way that's true. But I also don't think that we should be told who we're supposed to be. I don't think we should be told that our souls must fit in a certain mold to follow specific checklists to reach some version of heaven or Valhalla or whatever name a culture gives to that higher return. Every culture throughout time has had its own gods, its own stories. And maybe that's because there's truth in all of them, fragments of the same source. If you look closely, you'll see the common threads, the parallels, the longing to return to something greater, to unity, to the one. I don't have a degree. I'm almost 30, and I still have more questions than answers. But that's how I've always been. As a kid, both of my parents taught at some point at church, and I'd constantly ask them questions. Why? What does this mean? What is the point of this? I was always full of what ifs. I've always had this insatiable yearning to be a part of something that felt real. Not something that told me who I was supposed to be, but something that knew me for who I actually am, to the depths of my deepest, darkest parts of my soul, because they created me, or I'm somehow a part of them, or I came from them. Because growing up, I was a closeted bisexual. I knew it as early as 4th grade, and I constantly felt like I was a sin walking on God's great earth. I used to ask myself, why did he make me like this if he didn't want people like me? I was always made to think that it was a trial to overcome. But that's the thing about a lot of religions and institutions. They exclude people who are different. They exclude people who question. But I think we're meant to question, not just religion, but ourselves. We should be asking who we are, what we love, what makes us feel alive. Because when we start to learn ourselves, really learn ourselves, that's when we start to feel connected to whatever that something greater actually is. Knowing ourselves makes us feel like home, not like we're gods or better than anybody else on this earth, but like we found something sacred inside of ourselves. We can't become our own sanctuary until we can be alone with ourselves and feel safe. And when we do, we start seeing other people differently too. We stop just having shallow conversations about the weather or football or whatever's trending. We start to really talk, to ask questions, to listen, to understand, to converse, to argue, to compare, to share. We get to know each other around us, and then we begin to feel connected. Maybe even look up the lyrics to someone's favorite song. Sometimes that tells you more about them than they ever could. When we open up like that, when we allow compassion to guide us, it changes everything. I used to look at people on the street and assume the worst, that they were addicts, that they were lazy, but you never know what someone's been through. Maybe they lost everything. Maybe something tragic happened beyond their control. Look at some of our veterans. Promised care and stability, and then left on the streets after giving everything. How are we supposed to call that justice? We need to start connecting again, to ourselves and to each other. Because that's how we remember who we are, underneath all of the programming, conditioning, and generations of being told who we can or cannot be or think. We need to ask ourselves, what do our souls want? What makes us feel alive? What makes life worth living? And once we find those things, we need to chase them. Granted, as long as they don't hurt us or anyone else. Since I started doing that for myself, I've noticed I'm more compassionate. Not just towards others, but towards myself. I've always been empathetic and incredibly shy, but now I can feel people even more and open up to not just getting to know others, but to letting others know myself. It's still a struggle, but I'm finding it easier every time that I actually allow myself to let someone peek inside of my own world. My best friend, my mom, my son, we are all connected enough to know when someone else is feeling something intensely through their tone of voice or their facial expressions or their mannerisms, because we are connected to them in more ways than we can say. It's like our hearts recognize each other beyond words, and in ways this has been scientifically proven. Helping people connect to themselves and to others, that's what matters. Learning about who we are as humans, our evolution, our cultures, our societies. If we step back and see the whole picture, past and present, maybe we can finally understand this deep yearning that drives us. Because I think we're all a part of something together. Every person, every choice, every connection. Maybe that's why people say it's a small world. Maybe some meetings are meant to happen. If we can learn more about more than just our small corner of the world, if we can study our past and see what led to the rise and fall of civilizations, not just economically or politically, but spiritually, culturally, psychologically, and more, maybe we can finally move forward differently. Because right now, it feels like humanity is going down a dark path. I live in Utah, the Mormon capital of the world, and I've always seen how strong the stigma is here. There's this unspoken script almost everywhere you go. How you need to act, what you need to believe, how you need to live to be accepted. But honestly, Fuck that. If someone has a different opinion, listen to them. You don't have to argue. You don't have to agree. You don't have to change your mind. But just give it a listen. Because our minds are incredible things, capable of endless curiosity and empathy, and we barely use that potential. If each of us could just take one small step closer to our true self, the parts untouched by fear, shame, or expectation, humanity as a whole could take a massive leap forward. Not toward utopia because perfection kills growth, but toward something better. We'd stop just existing and start evolving. And maybe then, we'd take better care of this planet too. Because we're destroying it. We take and take and take. But the Earth is our home. There's a reason we call her Mother Earth. You don't destroy your home, you care for it. If we keep ignoring that, we'll reach a point of no return. And I don't want my son, his children, or anyone's children to inherit that kind of world. This planet, this tiny, fragile piece of this vast, ever-expanding universe, is miraculous. If we really are the only intelligent life here, that's astonishing. But honestly, I don't think we are. Statistically, it's almost impossible. Life has probably bloomed all across the cosmos. And if there are other beings out there, maybe they've already seen us. Maybe they look at us the way we look at animals, curious, a little sad, but still hopeful. Because for all our chaos, humanity is beautiful. We love, we fight, we grow. We're emotional, complicated, creative. Maybe somewhere out there another civilization watches us and thinks our little rituals are precious. Birthdays, songs, the way we hold hands. We are foolish, emotional, extraordinary creatures. But if we can learn, listen, and lead with compassion, maybe we'll finally become what we've always yearned to be. A part of something greater, together.